South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators, fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again, Magdalene, chauffeured, bragging and boasting.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video. This time we got the Young Lava video from Hood 6. I know there's another one from Mine So 6 you guys have been asking me to check out. That one's almost 30 minutes long, so I figure I'd do this one since it's 20 minutes long. You feel me? I don't want to be doing a long ass reaction like that anyway. But y'all let me know which one y'all prefer though. Like, I'm gonna put this one out, and if y'all still want me to react to the Mind Soul 6 one, then I can react to that if y'all want me to. Anyway, shout out to Hood 6. If y'all aren't subscribed to him yet, make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Show him some love. I speak to him quite often. Shows a lot of love. So, hey, I'm showing the love back. Anyway, let's hop in this joint. Let's see what they talking about, man.
I do this all for this person, you feel what I'm saying? So I have to go hard for that. I don't ever try to like glamorize it in the fact where it's like I'm bigging this shit up like it's cool. I'm just trying to tell the story of me trying to go from being that person to try and elevate it now with the music and the way I'm taking it, trying to take it serious. I just want them to remember me by like I'm my brother's keeper, like, you know what I mean? I'm always somebody that is gonna be there for the next man, or be there for my sister, be there for my mother, you know what I mean? I wanna be remembered as somebody that left a good mark on them, not just a negative vibe, just something that they can take from and say, you know what, at least
What interview was this
something.
from?
In recent events, Young Lava's name has popped up in many times in news headlines, also on social media, of the typical story of Where's Young Lava.
I don't know where's lava.
I don't know his lava.
This crazy story of Young Lava stemmed from the
It's funny
attempted
how
murder
they
charges he
found
was
lava
facing at
after
the
that,
time
right?
for the atopic murder of 26-year-old Blaine Grindley. But instead of rather turning himself in, Young Lava had different plans, and that was going on the run. This itself is what prompted Toronto police with the infamous Young Lava mugshot being plastered all over Canada's most wanted list, with Toronto police in the background, working tirelessly trying to arrest Young Lava for over 2 years with little to no luck. There were several rumors and beliefs on social media that he might have crossed over the border successfully without being detected. Or on the other hand, some people believed he was rather in Canada still keeping a low profile. But regardless what the case is, I will be going into details of what really 29-year-old.
So I heard Canada has like this good facial recognition technology that even if he was wearing a mask, they could pinpoint you out. Is that true? Let me know. Let me know, because it wouldn't make sense to be hiding somewhere where, you know, they have some technology like that where, son, they know who you are from a mile away, you know?
Dane Adrian Siladine, or better known as Young Lava, was a Toronto rapper from the Martin Grove area. That is situated right by Martin Grove and Albion Road in the Rexdale area. This area is known as Stovetop, or Stovetop Crips, derived from the Crip influences in the earlier years. Young Lava was also affiliated with the group named IDS, which stands for In the Streets, that was founded by a man named Mustafa Omar, also known as Sislak. Sislak was a well-respected street individual and a rapper from the Rexdale area. Now on the other hand, Young Lava, who has been in the rap game for quite a bit, can be found documented rapping for well over a decade under the names like Lava P or Young LA, with tracks like Tiger Blood, which put him on the map and gained him a lot of notoriety in the city and in his hood Rexdale. Another track Lava P dropped was 100 Miles Running. Even with tracks like that gained him a lot of hype and views on YouTube towards his rap career. He still didn't take rap serious, as mentioned by him in an interview on with We Love Hip Hop.
Hustle. You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to We Love Hip Hop, man.
It's not even
I need
on
to
like
check that joint out right
forefront
there.
of me right
That
now.
interview.
Like, right now, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more chasing my bag and shit than I'm chasing the music.
What did you want to? Did you ever want to do something outside of rap?
You know, it's funny, I didn't even want to rap, but it's like, it's more like, I feel like Toronto right now is being looked at a certain way for the music and basketball, and we're just, you know, we're getting live.
Everybody got their own joint in
After
that
taking
video.
a little break from releasing those tracks, he managed to drop tracks like Free My Brothers, Stop Lying, Designer, Lurking, and the most controversial one, Conversations, which he managed to garner over 1.2 million views on YouTube. He also did another track with another fellow Rexdale artist, Mula First, and Tiger Blood 2. But with him taking rap as a side hustle, he continued to involve himself in the streets and get himself in many difficult predicaments along the way with the law. So, as mentioned before, Young Lava or Lava P is from the Martin Grove area, or known as Stovetop. This is, if not many of the housing complexes or hoods you can say, that are spread out all over the Rexdale area. To further understand this, Rexdale as a whole has been attacked with violence for decades, such as shootings, stabbings, murders and unimaginable things happening in the area. Gangs, drugs and gun crimes have also been running rampant for many years ever since the 1990s, and into current times. When it comes to gang politics in the Rexdale area, it's been known that Crips sets originated from the Jamestown area, better known as the Jamestown Crew or Crips, which then, later expanded onto other communities nearby like Martin Grove, Tandridge Crescent, Orpington Crescent, and Mount Olive to be exact. But Mount Olive, or known as MO, later on detached themselves in the early 2000s.
See, I would say, yo, Hood 6, I think, majority of people that's going to watch your video is people that know all this already. So I feel like you need to just keep it specifically on Young Lava. Like, we don't need a history lesson about everything else, because this has been, I already seen all this before, So I would say, next time, just try to keep it a little tighter and focus on, Young Lava, because that's what the video's about. I understand you giving people information and shit, but, we don't need all that. We want to know Young Lava, more, his story.
From the Jamestown Crips after an internal event had happened during that time. In the later years as well, another gang ideology consumed that neighborhood in the 2010s, which was IDS. That was founded in the early 2010s. IDS, as a movement coming from within the community, was a known threat to the opposing sides like Driftwood and many other neighborhoods nearby. This itself left many innocents caught in the crossfire of the beef between the op neighborhoods. Now back to Young Lava. Young Lava grew up in a single-parent home in Rexdale. With that being said, I cannot confirm as Young Lava is known to keep his personal life private, but it's well known that he has two older brothers, one named Donovan Sidladine and the other named Domain Sidladine. Now Donovan Sidladine was a very popular and upcoming Toronto rapper that went by Young Dubs. Now Young Dubs was releasing tracks like Going In, clicking up with fellow Regent Park rapper Turks, Banana Clip, and in another track like The Real Conversations, OG Bobby Johnson, and also with his track that quickly went viral, Panda Freestyle. This didn't stop Young Lava's older brother, Young Dubs, in making connections throughout the city, as he so happened run into Noah Shibib, a Lebanese-Canadian music producer that many of you may know hanging around Drake, and that was OVO 40. Now OVO 40 was well known to have strong connections with the Rexdale area. He can be seen supporting several artists like Pyrex, Mula First, and also the
So he has connections with the Rexdale artists, so why are they like the ones that are heavily blackballed? Somebody answer me that. He has connections. One of the biggest producers that work with Drake, he has connections with the Rexdale artists. Bunch of people over there, but they get heavily blackballed in the industry. Somebody make it make sense for me, please.
The late great rapper Payback NLA, that can be seen in the infamous rap sheet DVD. Back in the days, who he both mentioned multiple times that they had a great impact on him, and also got a lot of inspiration from in his music producer career. But unfortunately, both have passed away due to being gunned down on both separate occasions several years ago. Even despite this tragic event to occur, this only helped strengthen the bond with OVO 40 over time with the Rexdale rapper Young Dubs, as he was seen on a couple of commercials of October's very own collaboration with Roots Apparel that was shot at Muskoka, Ontario, as well as other popular photo shoots. Another thing Young Dubs was able to secure was getting his song played on OVO radio, which was backed by Drake. At the time this was seen huge for the city, as not many artists were able to get put on such a huge platform for the world to listen to. Everything was
That's crazy, and when you think about it, it's even more crazier. Drake has that platform, OVO radio. Meanwhile, he's not highlighting artists from his city. I don't get it. Somebody make it make sense.
Playing out very well for Young Dubs, as a lot of people took notice and started to realize his star potential as an artist growing, and at the same time was very well respected in these streets. This story of Young Dubs was unfortunately cut short, as on May 12, 2017 on a cold night, Hill police nearby heard gunshots erupting at Garden Gate Circle, Clockland Road South, which is near Highway 407 and Ontario Street at around 10:30 p.m. This area in Brampton is known to side with the Rex and being heavily 3LK territory, as mentioned in comments below, of which I will explain further of how this ties to it. But now back to the story. This event appeared to be a dispute between two groups of individuals in the area, where it resulted in gunfire to ensue because once Peel police arrived at the scene, They located an individual on the ground already deceased, which later, Peel police identified the deceased individual as Young Dubs, while another shooting victim that was in the gunfire checked themselves in a nearby hospital. That individual was no other than Rexdale artist Pellaby, who was shot in that dispute and was with Young Dubs that very night he was murdered. The death of Young Dubs was seen as a hard hit to the music scene coming out of the Rexdale area and to the rapper Young Lava, who went by Lava P at the time. This itself prompted him to take rap a lot more serious, in honor of his late brother Young Dubs. While doing so, Lava P also carried on his rap name from Lava P to Young LA even before Young Dubs passed away, out of respect for his older brother. The other older brother that I mentioned before was 30-year-old Domain Sidladine. Domain Sidladine has rather kept a low profile when it comes to the internet, thus making it a challenging task, but I managed to dig up some information about him. Domain Sidladine was no stranger running into trouble with the law. In one account, back in April 2009, two individuals, then 19-year-old Domain Sidladine and 18-year-old Anthony Abel, were chilling in an area in Brampton called Garden Gate Circle Complex, which was situated by McLaughlin Road and Ray Lawson Boulevard. This was when police mentioned that there was an ongoing dispute that occurred in the area, where at around 5 p.m., a man in a car drove up to the complex and startled Domain and Anthony at the time. This itself was when the two individuals then prompted to shoot a person in the car, and the person in the car jumped out and returned fire immediately and sped off after. Once Peel police canvassed the area, they found several shell casings, and several witnesses came forward. This was when Peel police was able to identify and arrest Domain Sidladine and Anthony Abel, with 2 counts of attempted murder. And lastly, the driver that shot back, Kimmel Williams, also faced with 2 counts of attempted murder and several weapons charges. But I can't find any documentation of whether Domain Sidladine got charged for the incident, or that the charges was later on dropped. Another instance, back in March 7, 2017, Domain Sidladine also found himself in trouble with the law. This situation goes as follows. On a Sunday night, then 27-year-old Domain Sidladine was driving a rented Ford Focus in Brampton at around 3 a.m. when 2 Peel police officers in a vehicle named PC Robert Delmar and PC Jane King suspected Domain Sidladine as a potential drunk driver operating a vehicle. That's when both Peel police officers rolled up from behind the vehicle and onto to the driver's side near Domain. This was when the police prompted to flash a light in the direction of Domain. Once doing so, the officers then proceeded to pull back and use what was called a combination stop, which means that the officer uses their emergency lights for it to be an effective traffic stop. Once Domain realized the police lights flashed, that's when he pulled over and 2 police officers, named PC Robert Delmar and PC Jane King, then approached the Ford Focus. Both officers told Domain that he suspected that he was under influence, and asked for driver's license and documents. In this case, Domain wasn't able to produce those 2 documents and lead on to give the officer, Robert Delmar, his dead brother's name Donovan Sidladine, or as we all know, Young Dubs. The officer, Robert Delmar, then proceeded to run a background check on given name, Donovan Sidladine, into the system and found 2 driving suspensions, weapons prohibition, and was also known to be armed and dangerous by Toronto police. This was when Officer Robert Delmar then further took Domain out of the car and arrested him, and retrieved the car keys and foreign bottle from within the car, and placed them onto the roof. The officer Jane King then read the foreign bottle as a prescription bottle, with the name Domain Sidladine on it. While in the process of arresting Domain, he was found being uncooperative, fighting off being arrested. And this is when another 2 other police officers, PC Statham and PC Tisdale, arrived on the scene and placed Domain on his back, exposing the front. During this struggle, officers seen a weapon sticking out on Domain's waistband, and was found to be loaded and seized it from him. Now after this situation played out, and he was in court facing Justice Patrice Band, his lawyers argued that he was searched unlawfully and racially profiled during this event. But further reading the document, it was found to be justified by the justice, that finding a weapon itself on him, deemed it proven to be within the grounds of the search. As far as to what happened after, it wasn't clear. Now in the beginning, as I mentioned before, how Young Lava was dropping tracks more consistently later on, around 2017 moving forward, with tracks like Stop Lying. But surprisingly at the same time, unfortunately Young Lava was caught slipping on his ones by his ops, who were known as the Wasp Gang at a mall nearby called Vaughan Mills. Now Vaughan Mills is a mall that sells high-end clothes and couple of designer shops that is located in Vaughan, that is relatively close to both neighborhoods of Rexdale and Driftwood, of which often can be seen frequently visited by both neighborhoods. Now Young Lava can be found in the video, being ran down by a couple of the Wasp Gang members from Driftwood, allegedly, but not confirmed. Rapper 21 Neat from Neat Gang and Super Wasi from the Violet Boys was running deep during the confrontation at the time of the video. Now there's rumors and false reports from pages explaining the reason why Young Lava didn't do much in that situation by saying he was scared or didn't swing back in the confrontation. But that's false. Young Lava indeed gave a couple jabs back, and also mentioned as he rapped about in No Hook, explained he was already being investigated for a separate crime during that altercation. Using common sense, doing something that could trip up more attention on you from the police would not be a smart thing to do. Another clarification about that incident was that Young Lava was outnumbered by the Was gang when the individuals was chasing him. But that video never shows that, since the video gets cut off right at the peak of the altercation. Another detail that was often missed out on was the fact during this confrontation, Was gang members were able to snatch Young Lava's little gold chain during this event and posted it all over Instagram for the world to see for some clout tokens. Even with the existing tensions between the two neighborhoods of Rexdale and Driftwood, this event further escalated and fueled the beef even further, as almost 1 year later, Young Lava drops arguably the most disrespectful song called Conversations, with the intro to a snippet called Extensions added in the very beginning. Young Lava raps "I don't be from far, with an any BFR, I don't get up close and leave bodies scarred." This is referring to Pressa label's BFR that he promotes heavily on Instagram, merchant in his songs as well. This diss doesn't stop there, but Young Lava also raps like we ain't put Mr. TT on critical. That nigga Mr. Dead Miana, boy he pitful. He ain't never flex a muscle boy. He ain't really though. This line is most likely had people that aren't familiar with the Toronto rap scene have those bars fly over their heads, but in this case, to put in plain terms, is a direct diss towards fellow Driftwood rapper, Robin Banks, who was shot a whopping 14 times. More times than the American rapper 50 Cent. But unfortunately, in this case Robin Banks was put in a wheelchair despite surviving this ordeal. On the other hand, Young Lava also disses Driftwood rapper Pressa by questioning his street credibility and referring to one of the rumors that was circulating at the time. This rumor was about a scuffle in jail that Pressa ended up getting both of his arms broken, which Pressa himself addressed it in his song Orange Jumpsuit, with the lyrics basically denying the rumors and mentioned how he held his ground in a 3-1 fist fight in jail. Another diss that Young Lava sends out to Driftwood would be in his song It's My Turn Freestyle, where he raps about having this PK pack calming his nerves. PK, for those who don't know, is an individual from the same neighborhood as Pressa, who was unfortunately gunned down somewhere in Ontario. With this being said, it's to no surprise that the other side would also return shots and be even more disrespectful in music videos, like Anti for example, with former Rexdale reject YG rapping the lyrics, "I got dubs in my backy," referring to smoking on Young Lava's dead brother.
That's crazy how YG was from Rexdale though. Imagine if he ain't never switched, like, I don't want to say switch sides, but imagine if he would have just stood over there on that side. That'd be crazy.
Young Dubs, in a blunt. Now that we are caught up with the story of Young Lava, you mostly heard the story or video that I posted on the channel, but I will try to explain it again. On May 1st, 2019 at around 1 PM, Toronto police responded to multiple calls of a shooting that happened in the area right by John Garland and Hummer College Boulevard. Upon arrival, TPS investigated the area and found an individual already deceased in a townhouse nearby. Toronto police shortly identified the deceased individual as 26-year-old Blaine Gerardo Grindley. A 27-year-old woman named Brianna Boscombe was found to be accessory after the murder. In this situation, as documented by police, they were able to catch a big break, as before the murder had happened, it was mentioned that there already high-definition camera installed within the area. With that being said, this is what helped Toronto police catch their big break in identifying 3 other individuals that was accused for the murder of Blaine Grindley. Those individuals were Mitchell Smith, Andre Dowse, and Dane Sidladine. Almost 2 weeks later, one individual was arrested, and that was Andre Dowse. Almost couple days later, the second individual turned themselves in, which was 29-year-old Michael Smith. The last individual, as you might have guessed it, was Dane Sidladine, that was still at large. From the looks of it, Young Lava wasn't planning on turning himself in to the authorities for the murder charge hanging over him, but instead chose to do the infamous take the race on the feds. This itself sparked a lot of memes in social media to blow up online, as well as Young Lava's songs to go viral, because many fans and spectators was wondering where is Young Lava, and also if he was going to drop some music while evading police. Surprisingly, Young Lava delivered with the pre-recorded track 1800. This is most likely a move to capitalize on the buzz he was getting,
Crazy.
and as well as the media spotlight that was pointing in his direction.
That's legendary.
Toronto police, on the other hand, was getting very frustrated and getting no leads in finding where Young Lava was. As mentioned in another video by a YouTuber named Trap Geek, where Toronto police was seen using a technology called Clearview AI, a system where they would scrape images online and from cameras in order to pinpoint where Young Lava truly was. But that ended up being unsuccessful as he was still at large. Now in this situation, you might be thinking that Young Lava should continue to stay off the net and continue to stay low-key, which is correct and the smartest thing to do. And I give him credit to that as he was doing so, but at one point, Young Lava got a bit too comfortable and started posting pictures on Snapchat, and even before that, went on
Wow, green light gang worldwide, free my dog. Son is wildin'.
Instagram live with NHSJJ, which kind of shows he pretty much got careless at the end. On January 10, 2021, two individuals named 29-year-old Musamaladen Atto and 29-year-old Dane Sidladine was in a rental pickup truck barring a Texas license plate. The two individuals was carelessly driving 95 miles per hour or 152 kilometers per hour on I-94 near Fergusville, Minnesota, USA, at around 10 p.m. That's when a state trooper nearby saw the pickup truck going that fast and immediately pulled them over. The state trooper then walked up to the rental pickup truck and asked the driver, which was Musamal, for a driver license. That's when Musamal then provided an Ontario driver license with a fake name, Zakaria Tajitor. The state trooper also asked the passenger, Dane Sidladine, for identification as well.
Listen, if they were that wanted, if they were that hot and they had all that shit on them, they might as well just freaking get in a car chase. Like, you got all these charges pending anyway. You're like, what does it matter if you go on a motherfucking car chase regardless, you know? Like, what do you have to lose?
And that's when Young Lava also provided a fake Florida ID. This itself raised a lot of suspicion with the state trooper and continued to probe the situation even further. The trooper then, on separate occasions, asked the driver for the reasons of their trip and did the same with Sidladine. But both of them managed to bring inconsistent stories as well as what company they worked for, and several other questions that raised their suspicion level even further. During this time, the state trooper smelled marijuana from outside and asked the driver if they can search the car, to which Musamal complied, but told the trooper not to search the bags. During the moment of searching the car, the trooper lied and instead searched through the bags and found 10 to 15 blickies inside. Once the search was completed, they found 6.
The guy told the state trooper not to search the bags, so what you thought the state trooper was just gonna comply with you and not search the bags? That's the first thing he went to search after you told him not to, fam. Wow.
67 blickies in total, something that can be seen straight out of a movie. This prompted the trooper to call back up and discovered that both individuals, Musamal Atto and Dane Sidladine, was both wanted in Canada on both separate charges, but specifically, Dane Sidladine was both wanted from the feds in the States and by the Toronto police up in Canada, as Toronto police contacted Interpol in order to locate Young Lava. Now Interpol is primary task force that support police and law enforcement agencies in 186 member countries in efforts to locate it and prevent crime. This itself shows how serious and badly the Toronto police was straight fiending to find Young Lava. Nonetheless, both Musamal and Sidladine were both arrested in Minnesota and booked through Otter Tail country situated by W. Lincoln Avenue and N Tower Road. On January 13, 2021, both individuals faced U.S. federal courts and was being charged with one count of unlawful aliens in possession of firearms, which later on this week will be facing a magistrate judge in the U.S. District Court. In conclusion, the story of Young Lava had a lot of potential and a promising career ahead of him. But with each viral success comes with attention. And in Young Lava case, attention in the wrong way. Since nowadays people only want to hear rappers that live what they truly rap about, all the way until they end up in jail or murdering someone, which is an easy recipe for disaster waiting to happen. It's unfortunate that rappers cannot leave the streets alone and focus on rapping solely, but instead think they can balance the two and actually live what they rap about, and be successful at the same time. But that's just not the case. Hope you enjoyed the informative video and make sure to subscribe. Thanks.
Damn, son, Young Lava has so much potential, bro. One of my favorite artists from over there, bro. I like all his music. I haven't really been disappointed with much of his music, so I like his energy. I was rocking with him, man. And it's crazy. Start of the new year, he gets nicked. So hopefully, you know, he holds his head, and You know, he deals with everything that comes his way. But like I said before, man, being on the run that long, it gets tiring. And I guess he must have not cared anymore. Like, to get caught, he's like, you get tired of being on the run. Sometimes you just want to face your judgment. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't run away from it forever. So might as well face it, take care of it, get it out the way, and somehow, some way, hopefully he could find peace. You know. Anyway, I hope he holds his head, man, and yeah, yo, my Hood 6, bro. I felt like you could have cut out a lot of this information. Like, you know, I understand you gave us a backstory, a little bit of everything. You could have quickly touched upon that, like his brothers, real quick. Like, I felt like you harped on that too long, because I was here for Young Lava. I wanted to know more about him, his story, you know, more about him. But you went into other things, and yeah, it's okay. You giving us backstory that's, you know, with his family, but at the same time, it didn't really keep me engaged, I'm gonna be honest. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below about this whole situation. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe. It's your boy Dollars. I'm out.